Your impressions looking back at the film, what were your takeaways and what did you guys emphasize today in practice as you went over it?
Today was another big teaching day, us getting home a little bit later yesterday. Today's focus was really more about hitting home on our main principles, our sprint game, how we're getting out in transition and running and continuing to fill spots and spaces, our ability to crash the glass, how much we can keep attacking there, and keeping our size advantage, finding the advantage as much as we can. And then the last piece behind that is the defense. Are we in the right spots? Are we communicating at the highest level? And are we able to do it because of our conditioning is where it's supposed to be?
When you reviewed the film, what stood out to you about maybe that first half when the starters were playing more?
I loved the quick decisions. I did love their ability to push the pace when they were out there, taking advantage with their size, the speed. But I keep going back to that ability to just make the quick decision, the right play. The ball wasn't held. They were trusting and sharing the basketball like they know they can do.
With a team that has some new players and is getting used to playing with each other for the first time, how important are these games to kind of building that chemistry, and how encouraging was it to maybe see like the second quarter stint work better than the first quarter stint, especially for us?
It's very important. That's why we say over and over again, it is a continuation of training camp. That was one of the games we would have played, amongst each other within this gym, but you're able to see it against a different opponent, different coverages, different bodies, and I think being able to see that is going to be so important for us moving forward.
How valuable is that for players like Des and Tyus? You got to kind of run with those guys in a game setting.
I think it's very important for us to be able to do that. So now we can, as we evaluate the film, you're able to have the real live teaching points.
Paolo said that Jace went into halftime frustrated. Obviously, he came out and had a big third quarter. How impressive was it to see him have that evolution in game and not fall victim to his emotions as a rookie?
Well, what says a lot about him, but it also says a lot about Paolo being able to have the conversation with him to help him understand his moment in that beginning game. And then the other side of it says a lot about Jace being able to transfer to not hold on to it. That's a sign of maturity for a young player to not hold on to what you've done in the first half, good or bad, and be able to come out and play the second half just with a clear mind, clear conscience, and just play and do the things you're capable of doing.
You're able to get a lot of looks from everyone in the preseason, and there's this emphasis of let's push the pace more, let's run a little bit more. Does that maybe influence your rotations a little bit when you're thinking about that for the season? Maybe you go a little deeper than you normally would in the past?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a big portion of it. That's why in the beginning we talk about the aspect of conditioning. You've got to be in shape to be able to play the way we're going to play. And so for us to do that, you've got to play yourself to exhaustion. And if you're tired, call for a sub. We'll get you out. We'll get somebody in that can, keep the same level of play up that you do. And that's going to, take, having a deep rotation at times.
And do you sense that around the league that there's more of this idea of shifting more towards these 9, 10, even 11-man rotations?
I believe so. I think it gives opportunity. I think it gives guys a sense of where they need to be conditioning-wise. But it is a great chance for more guys to play when you are playing faster.
Beyond just saying, hey, let's play faster, let's push the pace, is there anything different you do, maybe a drill or maybe something different in scrimmages to emphasize that beyond just saying let's push it?
Yeah, no, that's a very good point. I think it's easy to just say those words, but you have to back it up with the actions. And some of the things we do in training camp is not just, hey, we're running sprints. There's times that you have to get the ball over half court by a certain amount of time. You put shorter time on the shot clock, so now we can move the basketball from one corner to the other. How fast can that ball move without even putting it on the ground? We'll do advantage drills where there's one man down and 5 versus 4, so now you're in a scramble mode, and you have to make a quick decisions in those moments. So there's a ton of things you can do that transfer over, but we want to make it actionable versus just saying the things and putting it on a screen. These guys have to feel these things happening.
Getting to see Desmond and Tyus in a game for the first time, I'm sure you had ideas and you've been implementing those ideas, but what for you, watching them play and watching how they interact with their new teammates, how does that change how you view them or tweak maybe some things that you're seeing from them now that you're actually getting to look at them out?
Well, the great part about them being in different situations and different scenarios and having experience played at high level games is they're going to tell you some things. As coaches, we all have ideas and things that we want our teams to do and parameters and things that were set for our blueprint. those are great. But players are going to tell you a lot of times what you're capable of doing and not capable of doing, and it's our job to put them in the best position to get there. Again, that's why I talk about the conditioning and the push. It's not making an excuse for why you're not running if you're tired. So now we're running, so you better get yourself in shape to be able to do these things. And what Tyus and Desmond have done, and they've done that before. So their ability to know what you're supposed to be doing when you're tired and when we're in our running game, they can speak to that. And that's what I think we saw a lot of in our film session as well as on the practice court today.
Franz had the night off, the rest the other day. Is that something you could see more with other players as you go through the preseason?
Like we've done in the past, I think it's going to be very important to see guys get certain minutes. The way we can see the rotation work, different lineups. We'll continue to see that as we get through this year.
Any birthday plans?
Spend time with the family. I think eat a good meal, hang out with my wife and kids, and relax and be ready for practice tomorrow. Thank you all. Appreciate you.
How good did it feel to get that first one under your belt, and what were your impressions of the first preseason game in Puerto Rico?
Yeah, it was great. Get it out of the way. First one with the new squad. I was talking to my physical therapist from Memphis this morning, just talking about like how, when I was in Memphis, I didn't have to think about my routine or think about anything like that. Those little things that you to kind of take for granted, and then you get here and just want to make sure that I develop a nice routine and have it before the game starts, and it was good. I thought we played hard. A lot of the things that we were implementing in camp carried over with our quick decisions, spacing, ball movement. So I think that something to build on for sure.
You mentioned having to kind of find a new routine, first time playing with the new franchise. How different did it feel, and how long did it maybe take you to get comfortable kind of being on a game court with the new teammates?
It was really everything leading up to the game. Just like I said, my routine and everything like that. Once I got on the court, it's basketball. At the end of the day, and that's when I felt the best, felt the most free. So I'm looking forward to, like I said, just getting a routine with the guys.
This team traded for you to help implement their offense and mitigate some of the problems they had in the past. The starters just played 12, 13 minutes or so, but do you feel like the offense flowed the way you guys kind of wanted to, or what did you take away from the way the offense worked?
I think it's early. I think that our minds were in the right spot. We had 18 turnovers in the game, so things to clean up. We're playing faster, playing more free, so that kind of comes with it. But I thought that, like I said, our intention to move the ball and to play the right way was there. And as long as we play hard, play fast, and share it, good things will happen on that end.
What's the biggest thing the team needs to improve from Saturday?
Our habits. We've talked about crashing the glass. We've talked about being a good defensive team. We gave up too much in that first half. Turn the ball over. A lot of opportunities, missed the crash. We did a good job on the boards, but there's always room for improvement. So just our little habits.
You know what it's like to kind of use the preseason to build into the regular season.
Yep.
What is that process like for you, and how do you kind of like take these games for what they are, but still make sure you're doing the work you need to be ready for opening night?
Yeah, that you hit it right on the head. These coach said it's extension of training camp, extension of practice. Just putting it against another team, putting our jerseys on. Like I said, going through our routine. So, we're definitely not taking them lightly, but understand that this is a time to work out some of the things that we're trying to work on, and getting Book back, getting Jay Suggs back in the lineup. Those things will only help us continue to build and grow.
Jace had a big third quarter, obviously, and he said beyond being able to slow his own game down, collectively the team slowed the game down as well. How, from your perspective as a vet, how did that help you guys out, and what did you see out there?
Yeah, I think that we did a good job of, like you said, we were pushing the ball, being intentional about playing fast, but then when we didn't have it, recognizing that and getting into some different actions and different sets and things like that. What we saw from Jace is what we've seen from him for the last 6 weeks. He's high IQ basketball player, can make shots. We could put him out there with just about any lineup, and he'll find a way to be impactful. So I'm proud of him, but he still got a lot of room to grow.
Ready for another week of practice and for the next one?
I'm ready for that for October. What is it, 22nd? Can't wait, man. Can't wait. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
The first one under your belt, and what were your thoughts of that game overall?
It was fun. Just like you said, first preseason game, getting back out there, getting to play in Puerto Rico in front of a different fan base. Definitely was a fun experience.
Obviously, you guys went through training camp and different practices, but did you feel the impact that Desmond made on the court with you guys on offense, especially?
Definitely, just how he was able to, impact us on both sides of the ball. Thought he did a great job of just leveraging, his threat from the three-point shot, being able to, pump fake and drive, create for others. Definitely felt it for the minutes that he was out there.
There was this emphasis that we heard at least about playing faster and playing quicker with the decision making for the whole team. How did you feel like that implemented or that translated into the game on Saturday, and where do you still feel like you guys need to work on with that?
Yeah, I think we definitely played a little faster, just trying to get it out and go, pushing the pace. And I thought we could have just did a little better job maybe of taking care of the basketball, but honestly I was pretty happy with just our pace overall.
What are your individual games different this year compared to years past, and what are you working towards? Your individual game and working towards that.
So what's different?
Yeah, what's different?
I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. Nothing really feels too different. I just feel like I'm a better player, but I don't know how different I'll be, but I think that I'll definitely be better.
Does that comfort help you in any regard, or is it just it's year 4 for you now, so is it like, are you finally feeling like there's another level of where it's slowing down for you?
Yeah, I mean, preseason you just want to get your legs under you and get a good feel, but I felt good out there, and I'm just excited to get this whole year started and get some wins. So,
what's about you about Wendell's game? Obviously, the starters only played 13 minutes or so, and not in the second half. But from what Wendell did in that first half with you guys, what did you notice?
I mean, he just did everything. He guarded well, protected the rim, was finishing down low, made a three. So all stuff that we know he can do, and we just love when he's aggressive and playing with force. So thought he looked good out there.
Jace had a big third quarter. He said the game slowed down for him at that point. From your perspective, what did you see, and how excited are you about his growth?
Yeah, he looked good. He was pretty frustrated at halftime. I think he was like 0 for 4 or something like that. And, I think we just told him, like, you're getting everywhere you want to go. So don't trip on, missing the shot. Just keep being aggressive. Keep shooting your shots. And he went out there and knocked 3 threes down, all within the flow of the offense. So, he's a really good player. And you could tell he just kind of has a factor about him where he doesn't get very flustered or upset or frustrated, And if he does get frustrated, he goes out there and plays better. He doesn't let it affect his game. So that's pretty impressive for a rookie.
You mentioned the turnovers. This is something to keep working on. It's first preseason game. You kind of expect maybe a little bit of like figuring out where everybody is. But what do you guys want? What are you guys focusing on and working on now that you're back to work between this game and Friday's game?
I'd say just executing and playing with pace. Some of those turnovers were just attributed to us playing faster. Some of them were bad mistakes. So just trying to clean up those mistakes, and the ones that are we're trying to play fast. You can live with those ones, but you just don't want to have the dumb mistakes.
You going for NBA blocks leader this year? You had 3 of them, but seriously, when you're setting the tone like that on defense, how much as a leader do you feel it's contagious with the other guys?
Yeah, I think that's just what's expected. Everybody out on the floor is to defend at a high level, and I think myself, I can take another step defensively. Just with how locked in I am, how engaged I am, and just me making plays. I think I can make a lot of plays out there defensively, whether it's blocks, steals, just getting stops on guys, switching. So that's something that I definitely want to up this year is my defensive intensity.
You kind of mentioned that like you use these preseason games to get your legs under you. This being your 4th year, how's your approach to these preseason games maybe changed, knowing what you need to do to ramp up for the regular season and when the games count?
Yeah, I mean, you just take it one game at a time. Like I said, I felt good out there, but I definitely didn't feel like mid-season form. So just building up each and every game, gaining more confidence in your movements and just with the team in general. So I mean, I'm sure as the games go on, we'll play a little bit more each game and get a little more acclimated just to the minutes and everything in the rotation. So just looking forward to taking each game one at a time.
How valuable is it to have Tyus out there?
Really valuable. He's just a super steady player. He just gets guys the ball, on time and on target, and keeps the offense flowing. And I got to get used to like when he's out there, when we get the rebound, me just running down the court because he needs to be an outlet. I think the ball needs to be in his hands in transition, just because he gets it to where it needs to go to. So definitely love having him out there.
You launched a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What has that been like for you?
The YouTube? It's been dope. Happy how it's all came together. It was something that my team was kind of like begging me to do. Like they wanted me to show more of my life and stuff I do. So glad that I'm able to do it now and give people, the fans, and everybody just a little glimpse. And shout out to my cameraman Cam Bev. He did a tremendous job the first 2 episodes, and episode 2 just dropped this morning. So excited about that for sure. Yep.
Yeah.